Alright guys, so I found this really cool book about some weather that has great text features. So what we're going to do together is, as we read this book, I want you to really think about what purpose did the author have when they were writing this book? What kind of structures do you see? And why did they include certain text features? Alright, so this book's called Wild, Wet, and Windy. See if I can make it smaller so you can see both pages. There you go. Okay, my name is Tom. I live in Fort Worth, Texas, which is in Tornado Alley. Can you guess which state of the U.S. are the wettest, the windiest, the wildest? What is the wildest weather that you have ever experienced? Alright, so look here, we have our table of contents. Oh, and look, we have this cool little guy down here. Wherever you see me, you'll find activities to try and questions to answer. So if I was only concerned about snowfall, then look, I could go here, look at snow, and just go to page 16. Okay, so a table of contents is helpful if you're researching and you don't want to have to read the whole piece of literature. If you're doing some research just on snow or highs and lows maybe in temperature, then you could just do that. Alright, let's look at the next page. Alright, so I see a text feature down here. It says these giant hailstones fell near Sitka, Kansas. Look how big those are. Those are like the size of baseballs. Even here it gives me vocabulary. Meteorologist, a science who studies weather, climate, and atmosphere. So they went ahead and defined that for me. That was a nice little text feature. We have a map over here that shows the high temperatures, and I know that because of the title. It has a key. It's color-coded, and it even has a caption. The map above shows a range of forecast maximum temperatures for a day in February. Was this an average, mild, or cool day in your state? Oh, that's nice. Okay, so these text features have already given me so much information. So much information. So I'm thinking the author is already has the purpose of informing. Okay? They're just trying to give me some information here. And these features really help show that, because they could describe all day that, oh, the weather in Texas was 40 to 70 degrees. The weather in the northern states was 0 to 20. But seeing this picture shows the differences in temperatures a lot better. So a text feature just can show things that you can't tell with your words as well. Okay? And they could tell me that the hailstones were as big as baseballs. They could have. But seeing them in their hands and that it really happened lets me know that it's true also. Oh, look, here's some more maps. This one has some good maps. The average number of tornadoes. Look at Texas down here. Do we have the most? 124 tornadoes? Ooh, we sure do. Alright, no other state. The annual average number of tornadoes per square mile. Okay, so we're not the highest there because we're pretty big, so they're all spread out, the tornadoes. That's why we don't see a lot of them. Look at Florida over here. Florida has 46 tornadoes, and because they're so small, their numbers are a lot higher. Okay, so that gave me a lot of information that even though we have the most tornadoes, we're probably not going to be as affected as badly as Florida, because they're so much smaller, you're more likely to experience it. So again, gave me good information. So it's further developing that author's purpose in writing. Let's see, and I'm really thinking it's not, when we talk about our text structure, I don't see anything that's telling me first this happens, second this happens. No, I don't even see like they're comparing and contrasting. I think this is a descriptive text structure because they're describing things to us. And guys, you can have more than one text structure in a book. You could have part or one little subheading on your in your book. talking and describing things, and you can go to the next section and they're telling you a problem and a solution also. So don't think that there's only one text structure in a book. You could have a compare and contrast and a sequence in a book. All right? So sometimes you look at just specific areas of your story. Like, oh, look right here. The first recorded tornado occurred in 1680. All right. The world record was measured in 1958. The highest waterspout ever recorded was 1898 off the coast of Australia. They're not really in order. They're not really sequenced in order, but sometimes when you see dates like that, they're even a sequence. I'm trying to look at this page. This one goes in order, so I think this is sequencing. My goodness. Look at this overhead. This is a type of map, and it's an overhead map tracking hurricanes. This is a photograph after a hurricane and what it looked like. It says hurricanes usually last for about a week. High winds may destroy property, and heavy rains may cause flooding and mudslides. Ooh, I'm getting some good information. Definitely the purpose is information. Oh, look how beautiful it is. That's in Hawaii. It's kind of hard for y'all maybe to see, but that's a valley in between some big mountains. Beautiful. Says that it holds the U.S. record for the greatest number of rainy days in a year. It has up to 350 rainy days annually. That's almost every single day. That's why it's so green, guys, because it gets plenty of rain. And look, this is the driest place in the United States. It's called Death Valley, California, and it receives less than 2 inches of rain a year. That's crazy. Okay, that's giving me some good information. Okay, let's see. More map features. This one's a nice little text feature here, too. It's showing a picture of a mountain with snow, of course, but then it's giving me some good information for the greatest 24-hour snowfall, the greatest 1 year, the deepest, and the largest snowflake. Look at that. It's 15 inches. That's big. That's like, what, like that? That's a huge snowflake. It'd cover your face. One snowflake. Can you imagine trying to catch a 15-inch snowflake on your tongue? That'd be crazy. Huh. Ooh, we got a graph. Look at that. Okay, so these are size of hailstones by month. Oh, man. Okay, dime and penny. So the smallest happens mostly, it looks like in June. Ooh, the golf ball ones are more likely to happen in April. And then baseball and softball is May. Dang. I've been in a pretty bad storm with hail before. I remember it when I was little because I was in the passenger seat. My mom was driving, and she told me I had to get down. She pulled over, kind of parked between a wall and a dumpster to try to protect us, and told me to get down on the floorboard and cover my head. She was afraid our windshield was going to bust. It was really bad. They were huge. They were probably between golf ball and baseball, and they were coming down fast. It was scary. Okay, but again, I want you to really, as you're reading through some of these nonfiction books, I want you to think about how these features that I know you learned about in 3rd grade, all these text features, how does it help them develop their purpose? Without all of these features in this book, they wouldn't have been able to give us as much information. Okay, it would have been probably more boring. I wouldn't want to look at it. You probably wouldn't want to look at it. These kind of things are important. You still need to make sure you read all of it because they're giving you more information, probably better information through some of these features to help you understand what you're reading too. Let's see if this one has Do you think this one has a glossary? No. This one doesn't really have a glossary. They have an index so that you can go back here and say, oh, I'm looking for information about tornadoes. I'm going to go to that page. Ooh, I'm going to go look for hurricanes. They're on page 10 through 11. And some books have an index instead of a glossary. All right, so our goal this week is to keep working on author's purpose, keep talking about text structure, and then I'm going to start asking you questions about how did this feature help the author develop their purpose. All right, so we're going to tie in some text features this week. So keep that in mind as our week progresses, and I'm going to start asking you some questions.